Now that the weather is finally warming up, we're starting to see no signs of rain. Fingers crossed. We're talking about motorcycle safety and off-road vehicle safety on today's edition of Cop Beat. Constable Kara Hagan joins us and her new partner, Constable Steve Baker. So let's start with you, Constable Hagan, about motorcycle safety. We've seen lots of motorcycles out now, but they need to be aware of the drivers around them and watch for other motorists. Is that so?
They do. Motorcyclists really need to take a proactive approach and be more aware of the other drivers that are around because unfortunately lots of times they don't see them and they're not always watching for little bikes, right? Sorry, not little bikes, but bikes that are smaller than the vehicles, right? It's also very, very important to wear a DOT certified helmet at all times. Keep both hands on the handlebars at all times. Those are all ticketable offenses. And the best thing right now is the city's doing a great job with doing their street cleaning and whatnot. However, there is still lots of loose gravel out there. Be very, very aware. Go the speed limit. There's slow down zones for a reason, and make sure you're paying attention to construction signs, bumpy road signs, everything like that.
And I didn't actually know this, but off camera we were talking about you can actually get a ticket for not having the proper certification helmet. Is it fairly easy to find one though? Is if you're purchasing a motorcycle, they should set you up the dealer fairly easily?
Absolutely. All the dealers know you need to have a DOT certified helmet, and we're very good at picking out helmets that are not DOT certified.
Do you see though a lot of motorcyclists even riding with no helmets? Is that an issue you see often, or are motorcyclists in our city anyways generally pretty careful?
Personally speaking, in our city, I see everybody wearing a helmet, and that's what we like to see. And of course, if we didn't see anyone, if we did see someone without a helmet, we would definitely enforce that. It's crucial, really.
Especially like you said, with gravel in the city, you never know what obstacles you're coming up against.
Saves your life.
Exactly. Wear those helmets. And now let's talk about off-roading safety, getting out of the city. Is there an age limit for kids, adults getting on these ATVs, off-roading vehicles?
No, in Alberta right now, there's really no legislation to dictate helmets and age limits and all that. They're starting to start the wheels turning to bring that in. But regardless of whether there is a legislation or not, you got to be careful. I mean, the worst thing to see is a child on an ATV that's too small or the ATV is too big and they're not wearing a helmet. It causes a lot of hazard. There's a lot of potential danger there, and so same thing applies, I would say, especially on off-roading, because you have that risk of rollovers and you're going over bumps and all of that. You got to wear a helmet, and you got to be safe. You got to use the equipment the way it was designed to use, and have it for the appropriate age, weight, size. All of that's got to be is crucial.
Absolutely. And I feel like this maybe should be obvious, but maybe something that we should mention, that if you are out and maybe camping, having a beer or two, you should treat the ATV as if you were driving a vehicle. Would you say?
Absolutely, because that's what you're driving a vehicle, and instead of having other roads or other cars on the road, you have trees and stumps and deer and bears and whatever else comes across your way. And if you're intoxicated, bad things happen.
Thank you so much, both of us, for joining today. We really appreciate it. We are keeping you safe inside the city on your motorcycles and trying to keep you safe if you're heading out of the city on those off-road vehicles. Listen to these guys. They definitely know what they're talking about. We'll see you next time on the next edition of Cop Beat.